Once, in a small village nestled in the hills, there lived an old wise man named Harun. Harun was known for his deep knowledge of ancient scriptures and his gift for storytelling. People from all walks of life would gather around him to listen to his tales, which were rich with wisdom and insight. One evening, as the sun set and the village was bathed in the golden hues of twilight, Harun began to speak. The villagers, curious and eager, leaned in closer, their eyes reflecting the flickering firelight. Long ago, Harun began, there was a time when the world was shrouded in darkness and confusion. People sought the truth, but were often led astray by those who claimed to know it. Among these was a man who preached about a doctrine that spoke of the divine in a manner that was new and unfamiliar to many. He spoke of a great prophet, whose teachings were said to be the final revelation of the Almighty. Harun paused, his eyes scanning the faces of his listeners. This prophet was known as Jesus, a man of great wisdom and compassion. His message was simple yet profound: love, mercy, and the worship of one true God. However, as time passed, his teachings were altered by those who sought power and control. They introduced the idea that Jesus was not merely a prophet, but the Son of God, and thus a part of the divine himself. The villagers murmured among themselves, for this story resonated with what they had heard in their own churches. But, Harun continued, raising his hand for silence, this doctrine was not the true message of Jesus. It was a fabrication, a distortion introduced by those who wished to lead people astray. You see, Satan is cunning and deceitful. He knew that the people loved God and yearned to be close to him. So, he devised a plan to misguide them. He assigned a son to God, thus creating confusion and leading people away from the pure monotheism that Jesus had preached. Harun's voice grew softer, more intense. There were two major doctrines that were added, distorting the original message. One was the belief that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. This was not a part of Jesus' original teachings, but was inserted later to support the idea of Jesus as the Son of God. The second was the concept of the Holy Trinity, claiming that God exists as three persons in one: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. These doctrines were fabrications, introduced to lead people away from the true message of monotheism. The old man leaned forward, his eyes shining with conviction. However, the truth was not lost. In the distant land of Arabia, a new light began to shine. This light was the final and complete revelation from the Almighty, given to a man named Muhammad. The Quran, as this revelation is known, restored the true monotheistic faith that had been corrupted over time. It clarified that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. My dear friends, the Quran is a message for all humanity. It is a beacon of truth and guidance, a call to return to the pure worship of the one Creator. Do not be fooled by those who preach otherwise. They may love God, but they have been misled by false doctrines. The proof has come to you in the form of the Quran. Read it, ponder over its verses, and let it guide your heart and soul. The villagers sat in silence, absorbing the wisdom of Harun's words. The fire crackled softly, and the night sky above seemed to shimmer with a newfound clarity. Remember, Harun concluded, truth and falsehood cannot coexist. Seek the truth with sincerity, and you will find it. Let not the fabrications of the past mislead you. Embrace the message of the Quran, and you will find peace and guidance on the path to the one true God. And with that, the wise man stood up, walked away, leaving the villagers deep in thought, contemplating the profound message they had just heard.